what you were diagnosed with is schizoaffective disorder, which is a combination of bipolar and schizophrenia, which is a difficult combination, I think it's fair to say, and you kind of battled with self-harm, and you eventually got to that point where you wanted to take your own life. You're on Waterloo Bridge 2008?
2008, yeah.
That's right, yeah. And Neil, who we touched on in the intro, kind of talked you down, and what you said about Neil was that he showed you compassion. You never met him, and he didn't try to force you to do anything. He just kind of tried to open that dialogue and was just there for you. And I think another thing that is very prominent now is people talk about how men find it very difficult to open up and talk, and suicide it's a problem for male and female, but it's a male problem, perhaps predominantly. What is compassion, and how can people be compassionate when they're dealing with friends or strangers?
Well, I guess Neil is a prime example of what compassion is. The way that he was with me on the bridge was, he was just incredibly, he held the space for me, in terms of he really listened. I think that was the key, the way he listened. When I was in hospital, and whenever I said I felt suicidal, which I did a few times, they would say to me, right, we need to up your meds, you need to take this medication now, you need to go back to the suicide ward. And the suicide ward is a difficult place. People watch you and they don't talk or listen, they just watch. Whereas Neil, he had this way about him that he listened, he had this kind of this patience, this empathy, he didn't react. When I started to tell him things on the bridge, he was just like, okay. Whereas everyone else I ever told, like my psychiatrist, was like, well, that's not good.
Sort of a judgment on it. And,
do you know what I mean? And there was a clipboard, and no one had the time. He had this presence of, this kind of, it's fine, it's absolutely fine, whatever's going on, it's fine, don't be embarrassed. And he said to me, don't be embarrassed, and I've never heard anyone say that before, don't be embarrassed. He was really he was okay with it, and I think that's a key to compassion, is the acceptance, accepting what is coming from this, or from yourself, this being accepting. I think, I know from myself in terms of self-compassion, the self-acceptance is a massive part of that. This is what's going on, and it's difficult, but it's happening, and it's okay. And as well as the acceptance, I think the positivity. With Neil on the bridge, he had this positive way about him. He was just like, mate, you'll get better, you'll be alright. And again, in the hospital, no one was saying that to me. They were saying, my psychiatrist was saying, we don't know, we're not sure, what's going to happen.
It seems to be sort of symptoms versus sympathetic, it seems to be that kind of thing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right, and it's a difficult one, because I know, obviously in hospital they've got a duty, they need to look after you, and they need to, keep you safe, but you can still have that kindness and that empathy and that kind of the non-judgment. I think the non-judgment is key. It's really,
and that's
key.
Something that anyone can adopt if their friends are struggling.
Absolutely, because it's hard. It's really hard, particularly if you're going through something like delusions and hearing voices and whatever it is. To come out and say that it's really hard. It's really hard. And when if you're met with someone that is accepting and just empathetic and just okay with what is being said, just holding that space for you, and anyone can do that. I think it can save a life. It does. It saves lives.